Four friends are about to put their reactions to the test. Last week we saw Johnny take home £1,500. He was fast, he was focused, he fought his way to the top. The question is, who will make it into the reactor zone this week? This is Reactor. Through a series of challenges, these guys will not only fight against each other, but also work together to determine how much money the winner will take home. Before we begin, let's see who this lot are.
I'm Becky, I'm 21, I will win and punch fear in the face. At Reactor, I think I'm going to be fantastic. I've got reactions faster than a cheater, so I think I'm going to win every single round and probably even the whole thing.
I'm Dan, I'm 22, and I take Fear's mother out for a lovely seafood dinner and then never call it again. I think I might struggle in Reactor, but what I lack in ability, hopefully I'll make up for in enthusiasm and make it through to the final round.
I'm Dominic, I'm 22. I say rude words at Fear from a long distance away and run. I live with the others, and I'm 100% certain that I'm superior to them in every way and will definitely win.
I'm Kate, I'm 21, and I'm frequently startled by loud noises. I think I'm going to be absolutely awful at Reactor, that I'm going to lose miserably in the first round, and that I'm going to have to cry in the sidelines for the rest of the show.
So this is round one. You will have 2.5 minutes to answer as many of my questions as possible. Buzz in when you know the answer. Fastest finger first gets to answer the question. There's 1 point for every correct answer. Look out for bonus questions, which will be worth 2 points. But it's not just about fast reactions, it's about accuracy as well. If you get a wrong answer, points will be deducted. And the person with the least number of points at the end of the show will be leaving us. Is that all understood? Then let's play Reactor and start the clock. What nationality is the retail group Carrefour?
French.
Correct. Which Greek hero killed the half-man, half-bull Minotaur?
Theseus.
Correct. Who succeeded Joseph Stalin as the leader of the Soviet Union?
Lenin.
Incorrect, it is Khrushchev. What widely referenced cosmetic surgery method contains the Greek word for fat?
Liposuction.
Correct. Bonus question. How many miles of blood vessels are there in the human body? A, 60,000, B, 80,000, or C, 100,000?
100,000.
Incorrect, 60,000. What organisation did Belgian surgeon Jacques Rogge head in 2012?
The EU.
Incorrect, it is the International Olympics Committee. How many suspects are there in a normal game of Cluedo?
6.
Correct. Who was the first wife of poet Ted Hughes, who killed herself?
Oh, I've completely forgotten her name.
I'm afraid that is an incorrect buzz. It was Sylvia Plath.
Yeah.
Which student of Socrates and teacher of Aristotle?
Plato.
Correct. In UK politics, what flower is the emblem of the Labour Party?
Rose.
Correct. Bonus question. Which of these animals has the fastest speed of heartbeat?
Mouse.
Incorrect. The answer from the multiple choice was canary. How many squares are there on a chessboard?
64.
Correct. Cross-country skiing and rifle shooting make up which sport?
Biathlon.
Correct. Which US state is named on the label of Jack Daniel's bottles?
Tennessee.
Correct. The God particle is more technically called?
Higgs boson.
Correct. The Observer is the Sunday edition of which?
The Guardian.
Correct. Bonus question. Approximately how many times does the average heart beat in one day? A, 100,000, B, 40,000, or C, 500,000?
40,000.
Incorrect, it is 100,000. Prunes are dried what?
Plums.
Correct. The Scottsville scale is used to measure the heat of what?
Chilies.
Correct. Which European country found itself without a government from June 2010?
Belgium.
Correct. Who won the 2012 series of X Factor? Gonna have to pass. What was the title of Al Gore's Oscar-winning 2006
An
documentary?
Inconvenient Truth.
Correct. And I'm afraid time is up. Let's have a look at the leaderboard and see who is leaving us. So, as we can see, somewhere in the head is Dan, followed closely by Dom and Kate, but trailing is Becky on -1. So, sadly, Becky, as the rest of us head into round 2, you have been eliminated.
Watch closely. Put your reactions to the test. In order to stay in the game, press your button when the red light turns green. If you're too late, watch out for the shock.
Last round you had to hit a buzzer. This time you're experiencing an altogether different kind of buzz. You'll be playing 3 rounds and there are 3 points to be won for the winner of each of those rounds. Meaning that Dan, you only need to get 1 of them in your bag in order to move through to the final rounds. The person who comes in last place at the end of this will be leaving with nothing but an electric shock. Are you ready? In which case, let's play. Well done there, Dom. You managed to secure 3 points. Still all to play for, and Dan can still get that perfect score and get into the next round. If you're ready, let's play again. Well done again, Dom.
Wow.
With 6 points, you're almost certain to be untouchable, but let's see who's going to come last. Are you ready? Our final game. Well, that came as a bit of a shock. Let's see whose reactions have let them get to the top and whose have made them slip to the bottom. As we can see, some way in the lead there with a hat-trick is Dom, followed shortly by Dan at some way off, and behind, unfortunately, on just 1 point, is Kate. So, unfortunately, Kate, you will be walking away with nothing at the end of that round. Your reactions just didn't match up to Dom and Dan's. For Dom and Dan, you will be going through to the penultimate round. But there's a difference. In this round, you will have to work together. Well, now that you've managed to throw your friends overboard, how does it feel about having to work together for a change?
I think it's really going to go against our natures here because we're much more competitive when we're left to our own devices, so it's going to make a big difference having to work together.
I think both of us picture ourselves better doing this by running around trying to catch each tube, so...
Yeah, well, a ship, you know, you've thrown people overboard, but to extend the metaphor, a ship cannot be sailed with just 1 person. Dom, are you feeling confident then about, you know, last round you got a hat-trick, you won all 3 of the electric shock rounds?
You know, I said it earlier and I'll say it again, I'm 100% superior to everyone in this competition.
But you weren't 100% superior, were you? Because Dan did very well in the first round and was in the lead with 3 points. Obviously, your wins later on were more points, but, you know, Dan's a worthy opponent, isn't he?
Fluke is a troublesome variable.
Fluke? Well, do you think it's a fluke that you managed to do quite well in the first round?
I think it's more a question of skill than fluke. I've definitely deserved to be here, and hopefully I'll get a nice big total and take it all home at the end of the day.
Obviously it's teamwork, but you know, which one of you do you think will actually make the most money this round?
Well, we'll have to keep an eye on it, try and keep counting. Probably going to be me, let's be honest.
He's better with balls than I am, so...
Well, in which case, we'll find out very shortly. Thank you very much, guys. In this round, you will have to work together. These reactor stones will be thrown down these tunnels at quite a speed, and you will have to try to catch as many of them coming out of the tunnels as possible in the 1 minute allotted to you for this round. The stones are of different colours and then have different values for each colour. So red is worth £50, blue is worth £100, and the 2 special silver stones are worth £1,000 each. We'll be bringing on your old friends who will be throwing the stones down the tunnels, but they will not be able to help you, and there can be no conferring. Do you understand? In which case, if you'd like to get into your positions, please. And if you're ready, your 1 minute begins now. A couple of misses there from Dan. So Dan seems to be catching slightly more at the moment than Dom. Dom managed to catch a silver there, but it didn't go in the bucket. Another good catch there from Dan. Nice total is building up now. Just missing them. Let's see if you've got enough to make a big total for the end. The blue there worth 100. Time's running out, guys. See if you can catch the last few. And your time is up. Excellent job, guys. Excellent job. We had some very fast reactions from you both there. We've got quite a lot of rods there in the bucket, so we'll see just how much you've done shortly. How much will the contestants be fighting for in the final round, though? While we count up the money, let's take a look at what lies ahead in the reactor zone.
In the final round, you will take on the reactor zone. With 60 seconds on the clock, hit as many red lights as you can. The winner will be the player who reacts quickest and scores highest.
So, Dom and Dan, in the previous round, you worked very well together indeed. Very well. In fact, I've heard just now that the prize money that you managed to win is an amazing £1,000. So £1,000, very well done. And that was all built up through teamwork. I mean, how did you feel that went?
Well, I think I probably got most of the money in the basket. Frankly, I felt that Dom was pulling me down a little bit. If I'd had 2 minutes instead of both of us showing the same, then maybe we could have had a bit more prize money to take home today. But
Dom, you did catch that silver, didn't you? But unfortunately, you weren't able to actually get it in the basket.
Well, I was distracted. Dan was throwing a lot of the bars near me or at me. It was quite aggressive.
So you think he was actually being deliberately unhelpful?
I think when it came down to it, it wasn't the overall money. It was the who got the most. It was still competitive in the end.
So still competitive. Well, if that's so, then that would have surely not been in Dan's interests because he'd have reduced his total. Did you do it deliberately?
well, it's not so much about the total as trying to knock him out of his comfort zone. Maybe, you know, shake him up a bit before this final round so that I had a bit more of an edge going into it.
I see. So how are you feeling really about the next round? Do you think you're going to do well?
I think really my entire life has been building up to this challenge. So I feel I've been training for 20 odd years now and going to smash it out of the park.
Do you think you've got 20 years of training behind you for this?
I've only had 5, but I do have one of these in my basement.
Really? Oh, in which case that may give you the edge. What would you do if you win the winnings then? Would you buy another one of these?
Oh, I've already got one. I was actually thinking I would like to make a stop-motion remake of When Harry Met Sally with storefront dummies.
That's a rather elaborate thing to do, but I like it. I like it. So, obviously, in the last round you had to work together, but now only one of you can take home that £1,000 prize money. You will each get 1 minute in the reactor zone, and you will have to hit as many red lights as possible to build up a high score. The one of you that builds up the highest high score at the end of the game will go home with the trophy and the money. So Dom, you did best earlier on in the show, got the highest score so far. So you get a choice. Would you like to go first or second?
I'd like to go second, please, Ed.
Okay, in which case, Dan, if you'd like to make your way into the reactor zone, you will have 1 minute on the clock, starting from when you press the blue button above you. When you're ready.
3, 2, 1, go!
Your time is up. Very well done there, Dan. You managed to get an impressive score of 11 points. Dom, now it's your turn. See if you can beat that score. Again, you'll have 1 minute on the clock, starting from when you press the blue button above you. Good luck.
3, 2, 1, go!
And your time is up. So, Dom and Dan, if you'd like to come back. You both did very well there, very well indeed. But I can reveal that the winner with 12 points is Dom. It's very well done, sir. Very well done indeed. So, Dan, you were just a little bit behind there, just a little bit behind.
So close, and yet so far.
So close.
20 years wasted.
What would you have done with the winnings?
Oh, well, I think it probably would have been much celebration to be had, but it's all irrelevant now. I've got to go home and drown my sorrows on what little money I do have.
That's unfortunate. We thought that you might be the person most likely to win in the first round. You were in the lead, but where do you think it went wrong?
Oh, I think, unfortunately, in that last sector, I just must not have been concentrating hard enough and watching for those blinking lights.
Well, you did have to go first, obviously, because you didn't actually do as well as Dom in the second round. It seems that you really managed to, go and pull into the lead from the second round onwards.
I think it was my ability to discern the difference between red and green that really allowed me to make that edge in the second round. So
excellent. Well done, Dom. You will be winning our trophy and, of course, the £1,000. Congratulations to you and commiserations, Dan. But thank you for coming. So thank you to all our contestants this week. Next week, a group of girls from York will go head-to-head in the ultimate test of reactions. I'm Ed Greenwood, and thank you for watching Reactor.